But thank you so much for the opportunity to present Mera Bills to all our listeners here. Mera Bills basically is a social impact enterprise where our focus is on women entrepreneurs, particularly solopreneurs, uh, and in particular rural women entrepreneurs who really don't have too many tools and digital tools at that to manage their business better. There are several studies, RBI included, where there has been this notion of business, a business ability. कि आप अपना business, how do you run a business well, successfully? For that, many kinds of skills are needed. One of that is being able to manage the books and to understand the business better. And that is what Mera Bills does. Any small business needs, on the one hand, access to marketplace where there are more customers, and on the other hand, access to credit. And Mera Bills creates that passage for the small business owner to access both larger marketplaces and also to be able to access credit in a better way, such that we are able to build the credit worthiness of the business and so on, to take them to credit. So that is essentially the role that Mera Bills wants to play in the lives of women entrepreneurs across the country.
Thank you. So the question comes probably that how this idea of creating a Mera Bill application came to your mind or your team's mind?
Right. Well, actually, that is a fairly interesting story. About 5 years ago, I had gone on a motorcycle ride. There were four of us women riding motorcycles from Hyderabad all the way to Vietnam, through Burma, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. And we rode about 17,000 kilometers. Um, and all along the highways, both in Southeast Asia and India, we saw lots of small businesses. And many of them seem to, not have too much of a handle on what is their monthly income looking like, what is their monthly profitability, which of their goods make most money, and so on. And then we saw that they all had smartphones. Many, the penetration of smartphones has increased. The cost of data has gone down in the country, and the youth of the country. There is what we call the youthful dividend of this country. There are many young people who are using technology, and of course, add to that the fact that UPI and Aadhaar and the whole jam thing was coming together. So we felt that maybe this is a good time to introduce technology for these people who are first to technology, and how can we make a simple app that will help them manage their businesses better. Fortunately, I was joined by my partner, who is a tech person. She's from IIT Bombay and worked in Microsoft for about 25 years. So we could build this out, this piece of technology that could be brought to our women entrepreneurs across the country. So that's how it began. That can we solve a problem that seems to be prevalent, that allows small businesses to thrive and do better and grow better.
Great, nice story. Can we have what are the salient features of Mera Bill and how they can be used? What are the benefits for the user as a small entrepreneur? How can he or she gain from this thing? We'd like you to elaborate upon that.
So mostly small business owners are, faced with the kind of questions that, what are my biggest expenses and who are my best buyers? How much money do I owe someone? If I have 6,000 rupees left in my box in my money box in the evening, is there any leakages? What does my cash flow look like this month? How do I reach more customers? So those are the kind of questions that any small business will have. But to solve it, we also need some kind of a tool. So basically, जैसे हम लोग, large businesses have ERPs, they have CRMs, they have Tally that they use that manages their business. We thought if we can make it in Indian languages, ki Hindi, Marathi, Kannada, Telugu, to help them enter transactions. Every time they have a sale, they enter it in an easy two-step process. Every time they have an expense, they input it in a simple two-step process, and so that the technology gets to work in the back end and show the user at the end of the month, this is what your profit looks like. This is all the people who owe you money. This is how you can send payment reminders and collect your money in time, and so on and so forth. So basically, Mera Bills helps the user to have a tool at hand, which is Android based, which is an application that allows them to enter their transactions and enter, if somebody owes them money, and to be able to create invoices, to send payment reminders, to create catalogs, to share those catalogs on WhatsApp, and to be able to create a P&L at the end of the month.
Great. So if I intend to use Mera Bills, what are the essential things which I should be having before I can benefit from your application?
Essentially, just an Android phone
That's all.
and the ability to read. So we have trained ladies who have been educated till 10th standard or 8th standard. So it's a very simple app that basically would allow the even a semi-literate or less literate person to be able to handle a piece of technology. Of course, we are very training centered. So we work with organizations like the World Bank or with the government or with partners like Ra Foundation, with Buzz Women, with Seva Bharat, and so on, where we have a TOT model where we train the trainers and the community resource people who in turn train these ladies on handling the technology.
Can you little elaborate upon the training and capacity building you undertake for the users? For example, how many days or what place, and is it online or in person or what?
So we've done it in multiple ways. It depends on the partner, and it depends on how they would like to, access the training. But we mostly have a 3 day, 3 hour training of trainers, whereupon the trainers are trained and then they are tested on their understanding, and then they're given training manuals, they're given testing material, they're given a lot of resources that then they take to the users, and actually either the users also they train online or they train in person or they train in groups depending on how the partner is structured. And then we have a backend uh, aggregating model, aggregating dashboard that will show the partners how many women were trained, how many downloaded, number of transactions that they're entering, and that also manages the trainers. So the entire training process is backend handled by us, and it's shown to the partners as a dashboard.
Is Mera Bill, does Mera Bill cost anything to me or a user? That's what I want to know.
No, the
Not all.
application is free
Oh,
for the
great.
user, and it is available for download. Anybody can download and use it. The training, however, is what is priced.
Okay. And what is generally the charges which you charge to a user who wants to undergo a training?
So like I said, we work in a B2B model. So the charges are to the partner organization, and we have a lot of other services that we offer. Oftentimes, we do baseline surveys and midline surveys and endline surveys, and we create impact reports and so on. So if you include all of that, then there are different charges. But simply for the training, it is fairly subsidized, which is literally it comes to about 300 to 500 rupees per user per year. So, and we do the hand holding for a year.
Great. I believe Mera Bills can be used in a rural scenario.
Absolutely. So there are a couple of things that allows the rural users to use it well. One is that Mera Bills doesn't need to have internet connection all the time. So you don't have to
Okay.
have network. You can actually enter transactions without having network. So when you do have network, all the data is kept on the cloud, which means if the phone gets wet or the app gets deleted by a child or something, we have all the data and we can bring it back for the user with just the telephone number. So we don't do any kind of KYC or anything. So it's very simple to use and anybody can start using it just with a telephone number and a business name.
What happens if I lose my telephone?
Well, if you get
What?
the telephone number back, then we can bring it down to the next phone that you are buying.
And how much is my data secured with you? Basically, when I'm putting all my business transactions on that application, you have privacy to all the data which I use for my business. So
Absolutely.
what count on that?
No, absolutely. The government of India is very rigorous about the data being kept secure. It is, like I said, it is like WhatsApp, where it is, it's encrypted both on the cloud and in the phone. So basically, the user, we take consent from the user. If the user wants to share the usage pattern, not the financials, then we share it with the partners. If the user wants to get a PNL out, that is up to them. Only they can create the PNL.
Okay, what happens in a scenario when, for example, a shop is run and managed by a woman, but the phone is held by her husband or a son or a daughter? How do we address that situation?
Well, quite honestly, we have found in our experience, we've trained close to 20,000 women entrepreneurs now, that those who have access to the phone themselves are able to put in transactions much more easily. But those who have a family phone, which is really the case in rural India, many times they make note of some of the transactions during the day on a piece of paper and then enter it in the evening on the phone when they have access to it. Many times, because these are small business owners and many of them have maybe 2 3 transactions a day or maybe 10 to 15 transactions a week, they're able to enter transactions, and if that is the case where they have access to the phone only in the evening, they're able to do that. But of course it is best used when the person has access to the phone all day long.
What is a solution in the case I need to get in touch with you? Means that your team probably. I am not very clear about thing, or something is wrong happened with my tools, or do we have any helpline or something like
Yes.
that kind?
Absolutely. There is multiple helplines on the app itself. We have a chat. There is a way of accessing or writing to us directly from the app itself. There are also
Okay.
videos for training available, which are available on the app. We are now developing a in-app training module that the person, when they download it, it will help them walk them through how to use the app itself in their native language.
What are the languages in which this application is available?
It's available in 10 Indian languages.
10.
Um, 10, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Can
the way
you?
from Assamese to Bengali to Hindi, Kannada, Marathi, Telugu, Gujarati, Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, and so on.
Great. So probably I think Mera Bills has been in the market for last 2 years or 3 years. I'm not very sure of it.
We
And
started it with COVID. Yes.
okay, COVID. Oh, that was a challenge. Now, what is the outreach of Mera Bills? Means how many clients or how many partners, or what are your current scenario of having reached how many states? Can we have just a feedback on that?
Yes, like I said, we've trained close to 20,000 women entrepreneurs through various partners. We have partners in, like I said, in all these states since we create the language based on a requirement only. We have about 38,000 downloads. Women have downloaded the app. We work with almost 20 different partners, which includes people like GIZ, World Bank, Women's World Banking, Government of Tamil Nadu, RA Foundation, Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, Buzz Women, and so on.
Great. One thing I'd like to know, for example, generally the rural entrepreneurs or a small entrepreneurs have an issue of getting credit from the formal sources of banking and so on and so forth. Does this application help in getting me and enabling me to get a credit?
Indeed. So the idea is that many of these women entrepreneurs that you're working with currently fall under either the SHG lending or the JLG lending patterns. And one of the efforts that we're working with partners is to have some direct lending to some of these women who are ready to accept direct lending. And Mera builds the data from there, which goes to show to the lender that these ladies actually have a running business and that the monies will be used towards, not towards consumption but towards a business. That is an RBI requirement also now. So definitely there are definite lenders and partners who are looking closely at lending to them, women who are using Miracles.
So I think you must be monitoring this entire data training and outreach very closely. So in your opinion, how successful has been the tool to enhance the income of the entrepreneur at the ground level?
Like I said, we don't really look at the financials of the user because that's all encrypted.
Okay.
However, we have done we do surveys regularly and talk to our
Ah,
users regularly. And essentially, there has been savings in terms of collection of receivables. So a lot of money that was leaking through has been collected. A lot of expenses which they did not realize how much they're spending on every month has been reduced, and that has resulted in savings. There are a lot of people who have made catalogs and are able to sell better or more products to newer customers has happened. So all in all, a lot of financial gain has been seen through Mera Bills in multiple.
I believe, PIG, there must be could be other competitors in the market who must be also coming out with the various applications. So, what are the plus points or positive points of Mirabill vis-a-vis the other applications available in the market?
So Mera Bills is the only B2B kind of a product right now, which is focused on women entrepreneurs. We also have a manner of, like I said, in aggregating the data so that the partner is able to then maybe look at the data in a different way to create interventions that can be at scale and that can be scaled. So far, like the features of Mera Bills, where the ability to manage business is common. you have other possible people who have created the maybe similar or close apps. However, this training led model is something that Mera Bills does very well, and what we are known for in the market.
Okay, great. You just mentioned about that probably you've been working with the government of Telangana, if I'm
Tamil Nadu.
correct. Tamil Nadu, okay. And also with the World Bank. Can we have a little more about that? That what are the or how this what are the projects, what are they aimed at, and how are you supporting on this intervention at the ground?
So with Tamil Nadu, we are working with something called VKP, that is the Tamil Nadu Rural Transformation Project, TNRTP, where they have identified many thousand entrepreneurs who have been given a loan that has been underwritten, and they want them to use, and we are training these entrepreneurs on Mera Bills such that the government and the lender will have access to and will be able to see what is the impact of those loans, and also to train them on managing their businesses better so that they become better business people on the one hand, and also to build credit history such that the next round of lending becomes easier to them. With the
Great.
World Bank, we did a project with Seva Bharat, where it was a year-long project, and where the purpose of the project was to understand what are the kind of features that women entrepreneurs of this nature use most in the app. What would be the way to scale training and usage, and what would be the kind of what is the level of women entrepreneurs who can handle a tech product like this.
Since you've been working with the women entrepreneurs for last couple of years, what are the major challenges, in your opinion, which the women entrepreneurs feel today? If the woman has to succeed in business,
Right.
What are the major challenges and what could be the solutions for the same?
So I would like to say that women entrepreneurs are not one, group. Like it's not one homogeneous group. Within
Hmm.
women entrepreneurs, also there are some who are interested in really growing their business. They are keen to become the next Ambani. That they're really keen to, grow their businesses. They want the loan. They want to make the catalog. They'll change the catalog every few days. They want to service their customers better. Then there are, of course, the livelihood-based entrepreneurs also who have limited time, who are of course have household duties, who oftentimes also support the agriculture work happening in the family. So for them it is slightly different. So we find that those women who have challenges of who want to grow, and who are, one of the major challenges that women face is that there is no support being given actively. Like we have entrepreneurship development programs, and actually right now in the country there is a lot of organizations that are focused at women entrepreneurs, but to give them a digital tool that will bring that digital and financial inclusion is also important. um, some of the challenges is dwarfism, what is called business dwarfism, that their ability to grow the business to a larger organization is sometimes a challenge. They need a lot of help and support in both attitudes, in skill, and in motivation to help them grow their businesses to the next level.
That's right. Okay. I think is your application also useful for the agriculture sector, particularly the farmers and all those who are engaged in animal husbandry activities, say goat rearing or buffalo rearing or milk, something of that kind? Can that be useful for them also?
Well, anybody who's doing a business, right?
Okay.
For anybody who's doing a business who has incomes and expenses and has to create invoices or has to take payments or make payments and keep a record of that, Mera Bills is the perfect tool because it's simple and very easy for anybody to handle.
Wonderful. Uh, does Merabil also help in marketing of a product? If I am a woman or a person sitting somewhere in the semi-urban or rural areas, uh, is it this tool helps me, or probably you're on the way to developing such innovations, or what is it?
No, no, indeed. So we actually help them create a catalog, which means that their product and the price of the product can be created, and it can be done in two ways. One is that we actually create the catalog, and the PDF of it can be shared on WhatsApp to any number of people, such that they are made aware, and it'll have a telephone number and an address, so that they can call the entrepreneur and make orders. The other is we actually create a digital storefront also, and that digital storefront can be downloaded by the customers and orders can be placed online. again, it is very helpful because not all our women entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs can get on to an Amazon or a Flipkart because that has its own challenges. But this is in a very small way giving them access to be able to create a digital tool on which they can take orders.
Great.
Digital source.
Any plans to link to ONDC or something of that kind?
Yes, indeed. That is very much underway. We are talking with partners who are interested in. See, again, ONDC is a great idea by the by the government, right? And a lot of people will really benefit from it. But to reach that, also there is a pathway. Like first, we have to train this woman to create a catalog, to share it online, to be able to understand that, oh, this is, how do we keep updating this catalog? How do we keep delivering the material to them? How do we take payments? Different ways of taking payments. Tomorrow they can build a digital storefront and start taking orders to remember that the order has been completed, to track all these orders, and then day after they can get on to ONDC. So that pathway also has to be, step by step has to be support. These ladies have to be supported. It's not like though there are of course people who are ready to get onto the ONDC platform tomorrow, but then there again the people who will get left behind will get left behind. So our idea is that everybody should be taken along that path and given the opportunity to tomorrow avail what the government is making for all of us.
So you just told me that you are helping the women entrepreneurs to create a catalog. Is there any charges, extra charges for that, or how is that being done?
No, that's absolutely free. All features on Mera Bills is free for the user.
Okay. And what are the plans in future for Mera Bills? How are you going to have a little more tools and more things to imbibe into it, or what? Just to have your future viewpoint with us.
So technology always grows and develops,
Yes.
right? And we have a lot of feedback that comes from our users. In fact, there has been asked for marketing tools, and which we are developing. That they want to, create more marketing material, which they would like to forward to their customers. We have created inventory that has been asked for, so we created a module on inventory and managing inventory. There has been an ask for, oh, can you help us handle GST, because there are some users who are requiring that. So like that in the pipeline, there are several things that we will be developing for our users.
Yeah. In the end, I'd like to know some real practical examples which you can cite to our audience. Probably they'll come to know that how the Mera Bill is being used. I think you've done a wonderful job in Gujarat or Maharashtra and also in Madhya Pradesh also, where you work with NRLM. So can you just speak about that how it was, how is the experience like, and what do you feel like?
Actually, there is some videos and testimonials from our users themselves, which I could play the
Okay.
video if you would like to see that, and how it is helping women entrepreneurs manage their business.
That would be wonderful.
Sure, I could.
And
Huh.
yeah, if they are of 2-3 minutes, probably it'll be nice to have a look at them.
Yes, they are actually a local. Let me. Actually, it's on you. Maybe just tell me if you can see this.
Till now, we didn't have it on the screen, please.
Okay.
What do you want to share, ma'am?
Yeah, I think now it's coming. No, probably. Yeah, Ayush, you
Yeah,
can help
yeah,
the
yeah, ma'am.
PhD in getting.
So
Yeah.
you want to share the video, ma'am?
Yes.
माझं दीपाली गणेश
That's it. That's it.
डेअरीमध्ये
Yeah,
राहते
it's
गणेश
visible,
नगरला
ma'am. Yeah,
आणि
it's
मी
visible.
आवळा प्रोडक्ट बनवते. 2 वर्ष झाले हा व्यवसाय करते आणि मी पहिले व्यवसाय करत होते त्यावेळेस प्रत्येक वेळेला बिलामध्ये लिहावं लागायचं किती माल आणलाय, किती खर्च झालाय, कोणाला माल दिलाय. आता मेरा बिल ऍप यूज करायला लागल्यापासून त्याच्या मोबाईलमध्ये ऍपमध्ये एंट्री केली जाते. म्हणजे आता समजा मला एखाद्या गिरायकाने माल मागितला तर लगेच मला एंट्री करता येते लगेच. कारण की चुकून आपल्याकडनं राहून जातं की बाबा आपण याला माल दिला होता, त्याच्याकडनं माल घेतला होता. मानदेशी फाउंडेशन मध्ये आम्हाला मेरा बिल ऍपचं धनुषी मॅडमने ट्रेनिंग दिलं होतं. बाकीच्या महिला उद्योजकांना असं सांगेल की प्रत्येकाने हा ऍप वापरावा, जेणेकरून आपल्याला बरेचसे प्रॉब्लेम आपले सॉल्व्ह होतात. ऍपमुळे म्हणजे कसं बराचसा वेळ वाचला गेला ऍपमुळे आणि आपल्याला पटकन कळतं की आपल्याला किती प्रॉफिट झालाय. प्रत्येक महिलेकडे मोबाईल असतो, मग ती एंट्री तुम्ही मोबाईलमध्ये पटकन करू शकता. वही आणि पेन घेण्यापेक्षा मोबाईल हा जास्त सोयीस्कर होतो.
Right. So this
Great,
is
wonderful.
this is one of our users, but she's of course very urban, based out of Maswar. We also have a few rural entrepreneurs who whose maybe I can share that if you like.
Yeah.
Yes, Norman. Just give me a. So, like you were saying, you were asking about rural. Na? This is one of these ladies who has.
Okay.
She actually has cattle, right? So she's a dairy
Good.
farmer.
ರಂಸಂದ್ರ ತುಮಕೂರು ತಾಲೂಕು ನಾನು ಹಸು ಸಾಗಾಣಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮೀರಾ ಬಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಖರ್ಚು ವೆಚ್ಚ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಭಾಳ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ನಾನು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಬೇಕು, ಖರ್ಚುಗಳು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆದಾಯ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಆ ಥರ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಖರ್ಚು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Wonderful. I think that was a real eye opener. And probably you have also worked in Madhya Pradesh, I believe.
Yes.
I think I'll like you to share your experience about it.
Yes, in fact, you were very much there. So in Madhya
Yeah.
Pradesh, we really got a great opportunity to work with the Madhya Pradesh State Rural Livelihood Mission. Belwal ji is the CEO there, and he had taken great interest in trying it out. And we had actually partnered and signed a MOU with the district, with the basically cluster level federation, where we worked with Shopur district and trained more than 2,000 women entrepreneurs over 6 months. And the usage was really good, and people, we with a lot of support from actually the government and from the MP SRLM, who supported in every way possible. There were CRPs, and there were clusters that were created where we were able to train women. We had our trainers in the field there. We did multiple days of training, either directly or over Zoom calls, or when they were collected, when these ladies came together in SHGs, together in central areas, and we were able to train them. So it was a great experience, and what we realized was that there is a great need, that indeed, as the government has access to so many women entrepreneurs through their cluster level federations, through SHG groups at the district block level, and there is so much the resources that the government also has in place, that if we are able to work together with the government and with the private sector, and with bringing together the skills that each of us as organizations have, that a lot can be achieved on the field, and ultimately many of our rural women entrepreneurs can gain out of the entire experience. So my hope is that we can continue to do that kind of work alongside the government.
Great. I think what you said in one word could be convergence is the magic word for the entire, all the initiatives which we are taking, either from the government or community-based organizations or commercial entities. That's good enough. So before closing, just a last query from you. Where do you see Mera Bill from 5 years from now? With how many innovations and outreach? And just I like to listen to your dream.
See, we're already on path to train, hopefully by the end of the year, several lakh women entrepreneurs. We are
Wonderful.
looking at the connect to date to credit. What we are hoping, see, one of the big things is access to credit for all entrepreneurs, for all women, including myself, right? We all need money to run businesses, and that's not so easy to come by. Appropriate, in time, and in the right rates and in the right way. So what I really hope to do is bring to the fore that women entrepreneurs get the credit they deserve by showing that they can run a business well, that they can demonstrate that they are doing their job really well, that they make competent business women, that they're able to prove that and pick up the kind of credit that they deserve. and they have a right to. So that is where we hope to go tomorrow. And as many women, I mean, there are, there are crores and lakhs of women entrepreneurs out there in our country who are deserving of these benefits, are requiring these skills and deserve these benefits, such that the impact is long term, that they're able to feed their children better, they're able to send their children to better schools, that they're able to sleep better because they're earning more money, and that they have in their hands, that they're able to think for a better future for themselves and their families. That's really the kind of impact we are looking to create now.
Wonderful. I think I could see the passion with which you are speaking these words. My team, and others who are listening would like to wish you and the Mera Bills all the very best. And we hope to see you scaling new heights as the time goes by. Thank you very much for taking out the time to talk to me and all the rest of the team. Thank you very much. All the very best.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much, Rakesh.